What's up, everybody? Today we have an 09 Altima. We're going to be doing front and rear brakes, but I'm only going to be able to get to the front brake portion of this today. But we're also going to be doing a full front end rebuild. I have a strut, struts, lower control arms, inner and outer tie rods, sway bar end links, and brakes. Yeah, so pretty much a whole front end rebuild. So this is going to be a few videos on here. On the next video, I'm going to show you how to do the strut and the lower control arm, but we'll get to that later. Like I said, today we're just going to be doing a quick front brake job on this right here, just rotors and pads. And this should be a pretty quick and easy video if I can talk on this one, but let's get to it. As you can tell from the beginning of the video, I did have the tire off already. Here are what the lug nuts look like. These are a 21 millimeter, and after you take the tire off, you're going to want to take the caliper and bracket off. You can take them off individually or as one and then separate them. I'm going to take them off individually first, just because it makes taking these right here off a little bit easier to me. The actual caliper bolts, I believe, are a 14, and the bracket bolts are a 22. And I'm going to grab my tools real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, I turned the wheel to where I have the most room for the caliper right here. So I'm on the driver's side. I've already did the passenger side, but I turned the wheel all the way to the driver's side just because that gives me the most clearance. And as I said, this is a 14. Let me make sure I got this the right way though. Nope. Trying to do this one-handed actually. Alright. And I'll break them loose first. Okay. Sometimes if they stick, you may have to use, I believe that is a 19 right there to hold that. You may need to use that whenever you're putting them back on as well. So I got this hook right here. Pull them off. Let me set you down for a second. So I got them hanging up right there. I just hooked the hook right here onto the coil spring of the strut. And then we can pull these pads out. They still had a little bit of life left on them, but they were vibrating whenever they hit the brake. And now we're going to take these two 22 millimeters off. I'm going to go ahead and check these. Yeah, the sliders feel pretty good on it. Here's the bracket. I already took the hardware off as you saw earlier. And the rotor just slides off. Just some little surface rust, nothing real thick or pits or anything like that. So I ain't really going to take the time to put any Scotch-Brite on that, because like I said, there's no pitting, it's just all surface stuff. Here are the rotors and pads we're going to use. I did get these off of Amazon. It come with as a whole kit with the front and rear rotors and front and rear pads. And all the pads still come with the hardware and everything, and I've had pretty good luck with these right here. I've never had any complaints out of them. But here is the part number for the rotors. It's 1ABRR01008, and then here's the part numbers for the pads, and this is the front pads, not the rears, but it is BFA 73084. These rotors do come with a little bit of shipping grease on them, just so they don't rust. And I'm going to wipe it off real quick. Let's use a little brake cleaner and some shop towels. I even like to wipe off the hub face. And do the same thing with the back. We're going to slide a rotor on there, one-handed if I can. There we go. Then we'll put a lug nut or two on there just to hold it for us. Like I said, the sliders feel good right here. As you can see, they move freely and they return. So I'm going to clean these off real quick, and then I'm going to put the hardware on here, and then I'll show you installing this right here with some Loctite on the mountain bracket bolts. I put a little bit of brake grease on these. A little bit of this goes a long way, guys. You don't have to coat it like you're putting, you know, paint on it or anything. Just put a little bit on there, and a little bit, like I said, goes a long way with this. And if you put too much on there, it can actually attract more of the dust, and it can actually make them start to squeal a little bit or cake up and hang up. Some I have seen that happen before. But I'm going to go ahead and stick these in the caliper bracket right here. I like to do that off of the car, just because then I can slide them in pretty good. Alright, we got these in the bracket now. I'm just going to slide them in, and I have some blue Loctite on the bolts. I'll start it by hand. My arm's in the way, sorry about that. I kind of got y'all sitting on a box right now and can't tell where my arm is at the moment. Next thing I'm going to do is put just a little bit on the outside, just where it's going to make contact. And yes, I know they make a caliper depressing tool, but with something like this, a good old C-clamp works just as good. And what I'm going to do is use an old pad, stick it in there. And I always put the threaded portion through the opening of the caliper itself. As you can see right here, this is how I got it set up. I got that back portion on the actual bolt, banjo bolt, and I got the screw portion going through the opening on the caliper right in here. But I'm going to squeeze this in real quick, and then I'll show me putting it on here. Put a little bit of grease up on that, on the contact points. I like to put a little bit on the boot if I can, just to kind of keep it moisturized, I guess you could say. Alright. Make sure that your pads are pushed all the way in. I know people tend to like their brake videos for some reason. Well, I think it's because everybody likes to do their own brakes, and it's just sometimes you feel like places can rip you off if you're not doing it yourself. And I understand it. You know, brakes is just, you feel like something that you can do. And now on some of these newer cars, you know, you got to have scanners and stuff like that to release the calipers and e-brakes and all that good stuff. So they're trying to make it where the average person cannot do it. Now I'm going to clean the rotor off. I don't care how clean and everything you are, you're going to get fingerprints on the new rotor. Let me rotate this wheel back straight, and then while I'm in there, I'm going to go ahead and pump the brake pedal just till I feel it get hard. That way it pushes the piston back out, because if you don't do that, the first time you get in and hit the brakes, it's going to go all the way to the floor, and it's going to give you a little bit of a startle. Alright, so that's probably going to do it for this video. I just wanted to really introduce the car and let y'all know of a few upcoming videos that you're going to see on this. And this is going to have at least 2 more videos. Like I said, we're going to do a rear brake video with shocks in the rear, and then we'll probably go ahead and do 1 video showcasing pretty much the whole front end rebuild. And this will be from the strut to the lower control arm, sway bar end links, and inner and outer tie rods, because we already put the brakes on here and we got it on. I know it probably would have been easier to do it with the brakes, but I'm kind of running out of time today. I have a few things I got to go do, but like I said, I promise we're going to get to this right here, and you should see them up, I'd say next week. Maybe next Friday will be the first video, because I got another video planned for Monday already, and it's going to actually showcase the Colorado back there. I'm going to do my rendering, show y'all what that is, and show you a few things that I've already got for the truck that I'm going to be working on soon. But like I said, this is going to end this video right here. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And until next time, y'all have a great day.